shit back. What am I gonna do with this? I was just wasting away. Let me just go ahead. Can y'all just throw it in there for me real quick?
I suppose you can use some of it. Yeah, but I don't want to leave anything behind, so let's just use all of it.
Dump. Yeah, man, just back the truck up. Dump all that dumb shit up there, man. So the script is, now if it was that, it'd already be kind of B-movie crazy, but the script has a whole bunch of stuff in that makes it terrible, all right? And I'll tell you why in a little bit. But as far as being the goofy or silly parts of this movie, that can actually be a nostalgic plus for people like myself. You know, because if you like me, again, this is a throwback to those goofy Godzilla movies that we grew up with, you know, watching on cable
for sure
in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, it's exactly that. You know, this is the rubber suit, fake miniature set, silly special effects Godzilla. It's just a bunch of dudes in rubber suits getting hit by cartoons, cartoon lasers and lightning. You know this. And you also got to keep in mind that, see, I grew up in that period of the silly Godzilla. What Godzilla was too cool to just be a message about atomic bombs in Japan.
No, there was no message.
No, not with us. No, they realized, like, oh, kids love monsters. Kids love watching the action figures beat each other, and that's exactly what they did. I grew up in that period where they made a Godzilla toy that shot his hand off for no reason.
Yep.
His launch is tall. Imagine his breath is a blast of fire.
That's
I had that toy. Oh man, that was one of my dream toys.
Oh no, my neighbors from across the streets, they had those Shogun Warriors and the Godzilla, and we used to make movies with those.
Oh really?
Yeah.
So Mark, this is exactly what this is. These are kids with their toys. You got a Godzilla, a Shogun Warriors.
That's exactly what I thought. This is kids with action figures.
That's all it is. It's an action figure movie. You're taking your Godzilla toy, maybe you got a King Kong or another monkey toy, and robots and all this kind of stuff, and logic be damned. You know, we just no rules. We just doing whatever comes to our heads. That's exactly what they did with this right here. You know, I can see why Warner Brothers did not want to screen this for certain critics. I don't know. At first I thought it was because the movie is terrible, and in some parts, you know, depending on who you are, it is. I think, you know, it's also because one movie came out and they're like, yeah, let's, you know, people can make comparisons. And we don't want to hear all that shit. Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's Godzilla -1 after winning critics over and the Academy Awards and everything. It's like, listen, this is gonna look extra silly after this shit, so we're not even bothered. But I also heard that they did screen it for some critics, and they're like, we're just gonna make money.
Yeah.
You know, that's all it is. We don't need certain markets like you.
Right,
you know?
Of course. Oh, you guys like art films? You ain't getting this.
Yeah, they know Austin, man. Listen, I wish I could have been a spokesperson for Austin. I mean, bring that, you know, bring over here for me. But Austin is like, you know, Austin is one of those we are more of a artsy.
Yeah.
community.
I mean, I wonder if they went through looking at who gave good reviews to Godzilla -1. Okay, none of them.
Yeah.
Anybody who say like, I don't know, I thought it was boring. You get to go.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, listen, this movie got a giant evil monkey, a giant ape riding a snow dinosaur, an ice dinosaur. I mean, that's a toy. All right, that's not a character. That's a toy.
I know. We got our giant gorilla with his fire lizard, and that giant gorilla with his ice lizard.
Yeah, you know. So, and you know, that is a toy. That's not really a movie.
Which ninth graders notebook did you see that?
Yeah. shit, that's some shit that you again. That's some shit you do with your toys at home. I'm gonna make this gorilla ride this damn dinosaur. Now he can shoot ice. Mine can shoot fire. Just weird. This is the day, bitch. Actually, I think I might be going just a little easier on this movie than I probably would usually, because not only my own biases, my inner child liking this, but at my screening today, tons of kids.
Yeah.
Tons of kids.
Yeah.
Some of them, I saw when they coming out, a couple of them wearing Godzilla t-shirts, and they were just, I wasn't even mad. They were having fun. I'm talking about like 11, 12-year-olds just in there talking, laughing, cheering. I was like, okay, man, I don't know what the movie meant to do, but it's for kids, man. This is a kids movie now, for better or for worse. I wish they could have kept up with some of the stuff they did in the earlier movies, but we saw this going down here like this anyway. So look, it's a kids movie. I'm not even saying it's a bad thing.
I know it's going downhill, but I feel like this kind of fell off a cliff.
Yeah,
I mean, it's one thing to go downhill, it's another to just drop.
there's another to not give them. Because it really is
There's a whole lot of not giving.
anything goes here. Anything. I'll tell you, I'll start with the stuff that I did enjoy, because like I said, I think there's some things to like here. I wish they had played those things up a little bit more, but there's some things I enjoyed. I really enjoyed that they still center on Kong. Now, the human characters in this don't come in there looking for any kind of depth with them or character. Kong continues to be the emotional core of the movie, and for good reason here. He's lonely because he's the only one of the species, and the species somehow, I don't know how they know this, but he's sociable. They are a sociable species, so with no Kongs around, he's just walking around depressed, just beating the shit out of anything. He's mad and sad, and also he got toothache, and that makes him extra grumpy, and he just kind of give it up. He just kind of like, I don't know no more, man. Ain't nobody for me.
What is this life?
I'm so sad and lonely, sad and lonely.
Flick.
No. Just gave up, boy. Just tired. Just tired of being alone.
The fight has been so long.
Yeah, so I did like that with Kong, even though Kong can be a little bit of a dick sometimes, man. Well, both him and Godzilla a couple of bullies. To actually start with Godzilla. Godzilla, because we used to talk about how he's a hero.
He ain't no hero.
He ain't no hero. He just don't. In fact,
Godzilla is all about Godzilla.
He really is, man. 100%.
He's a narcissist.
100%. It's funny because the reason why he's a bully is because in this movie, I was like, man, why are you doing this? That ain't right. He's just going around and tracking down other monsters just to beat their ass.
Yep.
And just to take what they got. Seriously, we always make this comparison, but he's Debo.
He's Debo. Yeah.
Shit, my power pump.
Yeah.
Just tracking down these monsters. Like, now, I didn't do nothing to you. You ran to one monster, that monster like, what did I do? And he's going around just beating the shit out of other monsters, man, trying to take their powers. You better not have something he wants, because he'll beat your ass for it. And it's Godzilla's world, man. If we just dealing with it. If he wants to sleep in a historical site, you better wake him up. Tourists better come back another day.
Hey, he's not supposed to be sleeping in the Coliseum. Well, you go tell him.
Yeah.
You go tell him.
What y'all talking about back there?
Man, that was him. I was telling you cool with me.
Who said I can't sleep well? Yeah, this fool, wherever he goes, people just kind of like, just leave, look, he's asleep, just leave him alone. He ain't bothering nobody right now.
He bothering
sleeps
nobody.
like he got a hangover.
So he's like, woo.
Yeah, when he wakes up, he's like, oh,
Man, that was rough last night. I'm tired. Yeah, man. Yeah, he's only a hero in that he defeats our enemy. But this movie showed that he don't care about us. We just don't have anything he wants. Or we haven't pissed him off yet. He's just a force of nature.
Yeah.
So they really drive that home. I kind of like that they did, after special watching Godzilla -1. I still like heroic Godzilla, but I like that they took this turn with him because we already have one Titan that we're supposed to be cheering for, which is Kong. So, Kong is cool. I was telling you, I'm sorry for him. he is the emotional core of the movie. And he's a badass, but he's got his asshole side too. So that little one shows up.
Hey man, they were assholes him first.
No, look, that's what I'm talking about. Little Diddy. So little Diddy Kong shows up, and what I like about little Diddy Kong shows up, and this little bastard, he shows up giving him the eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, help me! Can you find my mommy and daddy? He come up there looking at him with these big eyes. Hey, just he can runs up to him, tries to get some sympathy, and then bucks up to him like a little brat.
My bad, y'all.
Sure,
This
just
is the first time I spoke to y'all.
Kong is cool. I was telling you, I like him in the movie. You feel sorry for him. He is the emotional core of the movie. And he's a badass, but he's got his asshole side too. So that little one shows up.
hey man, they were assholes him first.
No, look, that's what I'm talking about. Little Diddy. So little Diddy Kong shows up, and what I like about little Diddy Kong shows up, and this little bastard, he shows up giving him the eyes.
Yeah.
Oh, help me! Can you find my mommy and daddy? He come up there looking at him with these big eyes. He runs up to him, tries to get some sympathy, and then bucks up to him like a little brat. And I like this too.
I like that part a lot.
Oh, that part made me laugh because he looked at him and said, because little Diddy came up with his boys, had some bigger dudes, that's why he was acting a fool. And Kong said, all right, you know what, you're going to learn to respect grown folks. He picked his ass up, put him on like a boxing glove, and used him to beat the shit out of the bigger Kongs. And then, when he was done, tossed his ass down like a bowling ball. I'm like, God damn, man. I said, you know what, I don't blame you.
I respect you, Kong, on that.
Yeah.
No, I just saw someone on Twitter like that.
That's a great part in the movie right there. I love that part.
Somebody said, he's not right, but he's also not wrong.
Is the Star King. And he's a slave master, as I said. He so much a slave master, he even got a whip with a blade at the end of it.
Right.
And
So, and you know, that was an efficient use of, making a whip out of a spinal column.
no, that was actually
a sharp one too. I was like, man, that's a great weapon right there.
yeah, you can see it on his shoulder right there. He wears that, and like I said, he's gone and enslaved all these other Kongs, and he slaved them to do shit. I don't know. You know what they do? He enslaved them to just carry rocks.
Yeah.
Because that's what that's that movie thing when slaves ain't got nothing else to do, just carry rocks. That's hard work.
You know, I noticed that too. I was like, man, he's got them working to build what exactly?
I missed something. I don't know. I will say that, but I was just like, what?
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's not like huge. That's a big detail, but not compared to some of the other questions in the movie. That's all right. But yeah, I was like,
Yeah, I know. There's so many other things going on. You're like, okay, let me put a pin in that. 'Cause that's not the biggest issue happening here.
yeah, you know what I like? Because what's his name? Bone Dinger, Julian Emmerding. He told me he's like, you notice how the Scar King looks like the evil version of Lanky Kong.
Yo.
I have no response.
Oh.
Okay, Martin, look at me. I was in Godzilla. Hello, how you doing?
Man, don't pull a Florida joker and start asking for money.
But I like how my man, I like in the movie, because I'm gonna tell you that I will tell you a little bit. I have problems with some of the CG in this, but I will say I did like some of the mannerisms that they gave these characters when the Star King first sees Kong, because Kong he brought that by little Diddy Kong, and of course everybody like this, and my man gets up. He's sitting in his throne and everything, and he's so lanky and long, and he gets up with this old asshole type swagger. He even comes up like, You supposed to be. You think you can whoop my ass? And even like, and they even have to laugh like, y'all get this bitch over here. And everybody kissing his ass. Yeah, boss, that bitch over there.
They got the Fast and the Furious.
Beat me. Beat me. Of course, they start fighting and everything, and he whoops his ass with that whip, which is actually a cool effect. But I also like, you talk about these characters going at each other. I really still like how much they nail home that Godzilla hates them. King Kong.
He sure does. Like, even when he's like, hey man, I need to talk to you about something. I'll beat your ass. Dude, I just want to talk.
Hey, he's trying to get, he's like, look man, all our lives are at stake right now. He's trying to tell me, help me. He's like, bitch, I told you to come around here no more. Oh, I said I gotta whoop your ass again. All right. Come on, man.
Wait!
He's like pointing at the. Wait, you need to go over here. Look, man, I don't want no shit, man. All right, come on, just help me. Just listen for a moment. He's like, oh no, bitch, I told you to come back up here.
Just hear me out.
Just hear me out.
You remember that ass whooping he got last time? Oh shit, not again. Oh no.
Oh.
Yeah, that was kind of cool, man. I really like that they have this grudge, this rivalry. These creatures just for no reason just really hate each other, just over territory. When you're watching this, who were you thinking? Did you think Kong had a chance at that time?
Yeah.
You did?
What? Once he got his power glove.
Oh, that's right. You should have did. Man, that power glove, that makes the difference.
Yeah, it gave him extra powers.
Yeah, man.
Give him extra powers.
Defy physics in every possible way.
Yeah, this is the one where people probably before, I know people saying, oh, Kong got this, he got his ass whooped, but now he got that glove right there. I think people think he got an edge now. You see me? Although he was like a bitch right there. Oh, come on, man. I just want to talk. You can probably tell I'm going somewhere with this. I know some people, they bet so much they even bet on 2 CG creatures like this. Can Kong fight? Does he have the advantage now? Can I put some money down on him?
Because Kong is due.
Yeah, Kong is due. I don't think you can legally start betting on Kong against
I know some people do.
But some people do, and hey, there's a service out there where they might start letting you do that. Although, maybe you can't bet on them, probably soon. You can't bet on them, but you can bet on their movie and how it will perform in certain places. And that place is Kalshi. Now here's the thing with Kalshi.
Spell that.
Kalshi. Not to be confused
Bro,
with
this is really like a betting site for
Kalshi.
movie ratings.
Kalshi. This platform, this service was created by 2 MIT engineers, and it is the first legal financial exchange in the U.S. where you can bet on any event, including places like movie performances, on Rotten Tomatoes, how those things will be scored. Like if you want, I'll show you how this works. So this is basically like the New York Stock Exchange,
Right.
where, or the NASDAQ, but instead of investing in stocks, you can start investing. This is the difference. You can start investing in things that you really know about. If you don't know about stocks, okay, you know about sports, you know about movies. We did this with the Oscars. You know about the Oscars. You think every year you've been winning those polls at the party.
Yeah.
Well, now put your money where your mouth is.
Okay.
And so if you think you know about movies that well, you keep up with Rotten Tomatoes so much, then Kalshi is the place to be. So, Page has hundreds of thousands of users, and they've already seen more than $500 million in trading. So,
That's
government ain't came after me yet.
Skip, get this out my face before I start considering it. Get it out my face before I start considering it. Because what the fuck? What the fuck?
Sponsoring this portion of the show, and I want to thank all of you
Just giving me this money.
for all of your support. Hey, let's get back into our discussion right here. So I was gonna say that the CGI on some of these characters, I don't know. I didn't think it was some of it's good. Godzilla looks great, but Diddy Kong looks like a cartoon character.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
And
I see that for the trailer.
That's why Godzilla looks great because I mean, you know, I don't think he has as much details when it comes to like something like fur, because the fur has to move on its own, and the fur just floats.
Yeah.
You know, like Muppet hair.
Yeah. No, that's a thing I noticed is like, okay, you got a lot of CG because you got all these apes, but it seems to be bogging the machines down.
Yeah.
Coors Banquet, the same brewing tradition since 1873. When you're the big...
Yeah, but I do like I said, I do like the way that some of the characters are animated. Some of that mannerisms made me laugh. Man, it's not enough character for me in this movie to get really mad at anything or root for somebody, you know, to get their ass whooped. But the Scar King, he was a bitch sometimes. He kicked one dude in the lava. Kicked one of his slaves in the lava. And I like the way the reaction was animated because when he kicked him in the lava, little Diddy Kong, he's in the background like, oh, Lord. You didn't have to do this. Oh, my God. No, this is it.
Well, I like Diddy Kong because when the Scar King is doing stuff, especially when he's acting like he's cool, you just see Diddy Kong like, oh no, he's gonna do something. This little boy, he's seen too much.
He really has, man. He's traumatized.
Yeah, he's traumatized.
Yeah, because most of the time, when even Kong with it, like, oh, no, man, don't say nothing.
Yeah. And Kong showing up, he's looking at him like, oh no, oh. So what happened? Oh, I admit I kind of like the Star King. He had just such a swagger to him. And he's one of the very few characters in this movie that has a personality.
Yeah, no, I love him too. Like I said, he came up there with that swagger and cocking that head.
Like, oh, all right. Oh, you think you bad? Oh.
I mean, he looked up more to be mine.
What is she about that?
Even in a fight, sometimes he'd be like, yeah, he looked him up and down when he approached him. Yeah, I like that character, man. I like him a lot. Listen, it's like I said, it's a lot of dumb stuff in this movie, man. And a lot of it I had fun with. I really did. A lot of it I had fun with. But at some point, it's just too much dumb shit. You know, and I tell you why. Now, the problem for me with this, like you said, I enjoyed this probably more than the average person will, again, because of my own personal, experiences growing up. But the problem with this is that, listen, this is a giant monster beat 'em up. We don't need a whole lot of extra story in there.
Well, that's too bad.
Because that's what you gonna get. I don't want too much subplot. I don't need it. No, that you do. There's so many subplots in here, and the problem with having so many subplots is that then when you put so many of them in, then they gotta try to explain them all, and then they try to explain too much. And when you try to do that, then that's when they start getting stupid because they don't make any sense anymore, and then they just, and it gets convoluted with nothing. I mean, these stories, they got nothing to do with nothing.
Nothing to do with nothing.
They throw in like a lost human tribe, as a way to introduce another popular monster. So when they introduce this tribe, now we gotta.
Let me ask you something.
What's
that tribe? This lost tribe in the jungle pops up. You didn't think about Madam Web?
I did.
That's the first thing I thought of. I was like, oh no, I've been on this ride before. Please let me off.
Like we just had a movie where we had an unnecessary jungle tribe. I mean, now we got one here with underground pyramids and everything. Now, I don't know if this is better or worse. They actually do more with this than they did with like Madam Web. But I mean, all they're doing is some old rip-off Indiana Jones shit, going through these tribes, pushing. Always that little bit of brick sticking out. You push that and it activates.
It's always the thing when you put liquid and it goes off in different streams and that makes something happen.
Yes. Yeah, man. Again, we've seen this all before. And So we go through all these Indiana Jones traps and temples, and they're just a bunch of nonsense stuff we've seen before. Like you said, always the water and the liquid and the little pattern, and so it's so much stuff. And here's the big problem: it's so much stuff that they gotta start, and it's nonsense. But then they gotta start telling the story in shortcuts. So now, like with these people right here, we can't go too much into their culture. The movie don't want to like invent another language for them or anything. So now, how do they communicate? Through telepathy. People, you know what I'm saying? Underground pyramid having telepathic jungle tribe.
It means the writers don't have to write dialogue.
Exactly.
And the way we don't have to pay people to speak.
And we don't have to explain things. How did you know all this? They just
yeah.
They communicated with telepathy. The movie stops just to dump a whole lot of exposition the dumbest way.
Oh my God, there's so many info dumps in this. As a matter of fact, two characters are just nothing but living info dumps.
One of them, Rebecca Hall.
Oh, I'm sorry, 3.
Yes, because Rebecca Hall is the biggest one. She stops in this temple and starts reading hieroglyphics, telling us this whole story about the background of Kong and Godzilla and how that beef got started. And she's never seen these before.
Right.
And she's reading this shit like it's a modern day novel, man. And I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. There's no Rosetta Stone for this. They didn't know these people existed.
Yeah, and she's reading this like she's been there. She's been there, she's been going there for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I take back what I said. There are 2 info dump characters. Her and Dan Stevens.
Yeah.
Critics have one thing to say about the First Amendment. First Amendment.
At Chamberlain University, we believe in running toward challenges, not away from them. We believe that one person can change countless lives. We believe in giving our everything to everyone. Because most of all, we believe in always being there for each other. If you believe in that too, join our community of more than 160,000 and become who you're meant to be. Chamberlain University belongs to something greater.
Whereas Brian Tyree Henry is just let me say out loud everything that's obvious that we're already looking at.
Oh, listen, where's your boy? Is he in here?
I mean, it's like, okay, I get the idea that you be the audience avatar, but you're saying stuff to us that we can actually see. And there's never a moment it's like, do you have any thoughts you don't speak out loud?
Yeah, Brian Tyree Henry, here he is in the background. I love Brian Tyree Henry. Not here.
I did until now. Now I'm questioning that.
I don't. Well, no, it's the character because
I know it's the character.
The character he's the character that babbles and screams a lot for comedic effect. He's not, he's not really funny.
No.
But having him just stutter and babble things randomly and then scream at every time something jumps out, that's what he does.
Yeah,
that's all he does.
And it made me stop and go, there's no reason for this character to be here.
Yeah.
Even like the whole convoluted reason of bringing him along, I was like, that actually doesn't make any sense.
No,
look, I get that he was he had a little flair from the last movie. There's no reason to bring him along.
Yeah.
And he is contributing nothing. I really expected at some point Rebecca Hall to go like, hey, I'm sorry, can you just shut up for a second?
Push his ass off the cliff.
Yeah.
Look. Yeah, because he blends nothing to this film. Dan Stevens, he's just there to he's a vet that knows somehow how to work on giant monsters. They don't explain that.
Yeah, and he's somehow the Tony Stark who goes like, oh, I know what we need. I'll be right back. And comes back with some invention. Like, yeah, we've been working on this. Like,
yeah,
you ain't been working on this.
Well, that's another thing. They rush things so much in here that, boy, I thought that Power Glove was done by the look of it. Wait till you hear the story behind it.
Yeah,
which is no story.
No story.
So, listen, I'm just gonna tell you. So, Kong hurts his hand. You'll see if you see the movie, you'll see how. And they say, oh, they see him. They're like, oh, damn, he's in bad shape, man. He ain't gonna last with that with just one hand. And Dan Stevens is like, well, what a coincidence. We Power Glove. Oh, his right hand.
It's a perfect chance for us to show it. You know what?
You know what?
I would just zip up real quick out of the hollow earth and bring it right back down.
Bring it right back down, boy.
I mean, I know it took us a long time to get down here, but I would just zip right up there and bring it right back down.
I'll be right back.
And it's a prototype, but I'm pretty sure it's just going to fit him and work immediately.
Yes. Yes. See, a lot of this stuff they could have been using for character development, but we have it's an overstuffed film with all these subplots, and we don't need them.
Character development. How dare you?
I know. What am I asking for? What's wrong with you? And then, I my biggest peeve is this whole thing, and I probably shouldn't ask this or complain about this in a giant monster movie, but I mean, maybe it's a Warner Brothers thing to me because they always are tearing up the city, man. Tearing up the city, killing all kind of people with no, mention of them or anything. No mention about the this mass destruction and death that they're causing. No more historical sites. Pyramids are gone. Years of preservation gone in seconds. We ain't got nothing left.
I was impressed that they tore up Brazil but didn't bring down Christ the Redeemer. That's usually the target. Whenever they show any of these movies show Brazil, I was like, oh, that statue's gone.
Oh no! Oh, that's right. They didn't do it. I wish they had put a scene where Godzilla looked at him like the cross thing. I ain't messing with that. But no, I think it's a Warner Brothers thing, man. Because I think my problem with Warner Brothers, when I see a Warner Brothers movie, at least, like it's almost like there's a rule. They say, the studio tells the director, we don't care. We don't care about consequences. Just it looks cool, make it big. We saw them do that with Superman. I was like, oh come on, man. It's like so. I'm just kind of, but at the same time, I will say for me it was kind of a badass fight at the end. They tear up the city, and I get tired of seeing that, but it is a cool fight. It's really Godzilla in Kong's comic book moment in there. So they would say it's that WWE moment. So I had fun watching it, but at the same time, I am tired of seeing that. But I don't know, man. Like I said, those moments kind of brought the kid out of me. Hey, listen, this script is bad because it's rushed so much. I did have fun with the intentionally silly parts. I mean, this movie knows at this point it's almost like it's a good and bad thing because these movies start out with ambition. They start with a character and story, and somewhere along the way, a studio like Warner Brothers here just says, well, let's just give the people what they really want. They pulled back on story, and we saw it, done with Universal doing it with Fast and Furious. Let's just give them cars and races and stunts. Let's just give us more monsters, more effects, more fights, more destruction, and then that's kind of what happens with it. I cannot defend this against any harsh criticism out there. In fact, it probably deserves it. But for somebody like me, watching it on the big screen, it was a very low matinee. For everybody else, I would have to say it's anywhere from rental to a hybrid. Because I think if you watch this at home, it's a lot of fun, a lot more fun instead of having to go out somewhere. It's not anything that's deep on character or story. So if you watch it on your big screen TV, then cool. Now, if you want to go watch it in IMAX, I do think that or if you have a kid that loves this kind of stuff, go watch it on the big screens because some of the big fights are very cool. But there you go. Personally, low matinee, very low matinee, but I'll give it a high rental for everybody else.
I forgot where I was gonna jump in with this. You know what? The stuff with Kong and the other gorillas is fun, and the fight with King Kong and Godzilla, certainly toward the end, and the big battle at the end.
Yeah.
That's giving the people what they want. But I think 3/4 of this movie is not giving you what you want. I mean, all that might be fun, but it's one of those where if you look at actual screen time, it doesn't take up that much. And what you're stuck with is mostly the stuff with the humans. And they call it a hollow earth, but it's hollow characters and a hollow script. And most of it doesn't really make sense. It's almost insulting. And when I watched the trailer, I was like, all right, this looks like it was written by a 14-year-old. But watching the actual movie, I was like, this is written by a 14-year-old for his 9-year-old autistic brother, who just plays with action figures and will never grow beyond that. It makes you sit through so much stuff that just makes you scratch your head, or it hurt. And probably what makes me really down on this is that just watching, I was like, man, it just became clear to me that, and I couldn't put my finger on it before, but it's like, they have no ideas. They really have run out of ideas. This movie is mostly based on, look, we got these characters, we're going to get them to fight. People want to see them. We're going to sell the Kong axe. We're going to sell Power Gloves. We're going to sell Diddy Kong toys. We got a new kaiju we can sell. And everything about it is just so crass and thrown together. It just felt like such a cash grab. And it makes it, at 2 hours, it makes it for, I won't say a painful experience. It's just exhausting. But fortunately, you do get the good stuff with Kong. So I can't completely get down on it because of those things it does deliver on. But there's so much else. And you're like, man, there's so much that could have been done. I mean, yes, we've had Godzilla -1, but also with the show Monarch, they've learned to do so much where they pay attention to the characters. And you can't say that those things are connected. I mean, I don't know if it's like a Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. MCU thing where, they tried to act like they weren't, but then Nick Fury and Sif would show up, and Agent Coulson and all that. And that was a case where, well, the movies are way better than the show. And this is the opposite, where the show is way better than the movies. And the interesting thing they do in the show is that when you're in the Hollow Earth, time moves differently. So you can be in the Hollow Earth for a couple of months, and you come out, 25 years have passed. So there's so much, they have so much in their sandbox to go to play with, and they don't touch any of it. Yeah, I mean, I think if you just want to see these creatures fight, sure, and man, if that's really, really all you want, and you're willing to sit through all the extra nonsense to get to it, then God bless you, go for it. I was just like, man, I just feel like this is some old bullshit. But I will go to low rental just because of the parts I mentioned, the calm stuff that did kind of work. But I'm even afraid to do that because I think about Attack of the Clones, where I was like, well, man, that movie kind of sucked. But that part with Yoda fighting the last 20 minutes, that was cool. I could watch that again. And then I did have a chance to go back and watch that last 20 minutes. I was like, well, shit, that fight only lasted about 3 minutes. I was kind of wrong about that. Yeah, this is the lowest of low rentals to me.
Yeah, well, yeah, I guess I enjoyed it a little bit more than you did. Yeah. No, I like I said, I'm probably a minority of people. Somebody said, damn, y'all, I like the movie. You know what I'm saying? I'm a grumpy person. I like the movie. Like, why y'all always making us twins?
I wasn't grumpy till I watched it.
No. And by the way, they're saying that was not Hollow Earth and Monarch. It was an in-between realm. Yeah. I didn't get that far. So.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah. So, well, there y'all go. Y'all got kind of two different opinions. I mean, I'm definitely more positive than you are, but I mean,
honestly, I went in positive, and they do a lot of stuff with Kong at first. So I was like, man, all this time thinking that they didn't want to show it because it was so bad. It ain't that. And then they spent on the humans for a long time. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, but I'm just saying, it had. I might like it better than you did, but you can both hear us say this movie it's the dumbest out of all of them so far. So, well, that could be a good or a bad thing for you out there. Just be well aware before you go in. Yeah. Anyway, y'all. Well, you made it to the end of the video. That must mean you really like what we do. So if you do, check out these other videos just like this one. Check out our other YouTube channels and subscribe to join our wonderful Toasty community. And as always, stay toasty.
He just lost his balance a little bit. Like, and even then he would have been like, yeah.
It's delicious. Our Patreon. Patreon, which helps us to continue bringing you our live streams, videos, and podcasts while bringing you new content such as exclusive live streams and animated shorts. Chris Stuckman, everybody. You know Chris Stuckman, man. One of the most popular, not just most popular movie critics out there, not just most popular YouTuber out there, but one of the most popular personalities now. Everybody's getting to know your name, sir.
Thanks, man. Well, I mean, I appreciate it. I'm flattered that people like looking at my face sometimes.
We brought...
I'm not leaving until I have a barrel full of Nazi hearts. Try not to be greedy. Just group on judgmental warfare.
Confidence is when you just believe in yourself no matter what.
Sound like Shia LaBeouf.
Hey, look at Tom's look right there. Yeah. You ain't shit.
And just throws her down and goes, like, yeah, I heard you. You came in being shitty to everybody for no reason.
Yeah. Hey everyone, support our Patreon, which helps us to continue bringing you our live streams, videos, and podcasts while bringing you new content such as exclusive live streams and animated shorts. Some people say, hey, look, man, why they gotta fight? Just after this weekend, the way people saying that they brought the box office back, they said Godzilla, Kong, and everybody else involved, man, they're all winners.
Yeah, everybody.
Godzilla's out there and he's hurting people we don't know why.
You goddamn right he is. There's somebody in particular you can ask about that. Yeah, Godzilla said, hey man, I don't give a fuck about that box office. You know what's up. Hey,
Where's my belt?
yeah, exactly, man. Godzilla said, look, you might be a king, but you can't be a god out there. Godzilla whooped that ass, all right?
Asterisks according to someone else. I have no. I saw the movie. We can get into it.
I'm gonna tell you,
There's
look,
more copies. I'll agree. Like, to a point, but we got to get to.
I'll get no, we'll get to it because I actually brought that point up for you. We'll see. We'll see. I'm eager to hear what you have to say.
Sure.
But, because listen, I was rooting for Kong, man.
Me too. He's a hometown boy.
He
had the good movie in the franchise
Yeah.
so far to this point.
And Kong was, because everybody, listen, I should have known better actually, because Kong was like that boxer that talks too much shit.
Conor McGregor.
Before, yeah, Conor McGregor. Like he was the one that started shit the way in. That's just the way in. It's like, hey man, bring it up. Bring it, save it for the rain.
Hey, we all saw that punch, and that should have been the end, man. If you can take that, then by all means, and he can take it.
He took it. I love that. Yeah, Godzilla said, all right. All right.
I didn't realize I was in the fight.
Okay. All
I mean,
right.
shit, he took 2 of those.
Yeah.
I said, what else you got?
Shit, Godzilla said, I thought we were saving this shit for the rain, but all right.
That is the ring. It's a stage, a giant,
That's the way
aircraft carrier.
Hey, look, he started shit the way in, brought in his hype woman to blow his ass up.
Kong bows to no one.
Yeah, maybe he don't bow to no one, but he can fall on his ass. Listen, y'all, I was behind this man. I was behind him. I didn't expect either one of them to go down easy at all. I kind of expected a tie at the end, both of them to get some punches in.
Yeah.
But I did not expect Kong to go out like a bitch, man. And that's exactly what happened. I'm wrong. Look, Kong is, like you said.
Yeah, he's a hometown boy.
Yeah.
He's an American kaiju. We're all primates.
Yeah.
We can relate. Kong has personality.
He's the Rocky of monsters.
He's the main character of the movie. He's the main character, and yeah, you're right.
Yeah, this is almost, in a way, I'm not saying you say almost. If you want to look at it that way, everybody can look at it different ways. But you can't look at this as a direct almost direct Skull Island sequel.
Thank God it is.
Yeah, but you know, listen, I rooted for Kong as long as I could, man.
They were underestimating Kong. It was like, we got to keep him in this virtual reality because if Godzilla knows where he is, he's gonna fucking kill him.
Which is so weird.
Yeah.
I just had so many questions about that. Like, how does that work? I remember Godzilla's little like monster sense will work anywhere on Earth, but this like fucking dome just stops him from sensing it.
Shit, he went to that dome, man. He's like,
Well, after they shut it down,
yeah, it was almost like we gotta get this motherfucker out of here because Godzilla gonna tear this shit up and he's getting too much money of it. You know, we can actually unpack this and use it for something else. But I'm gonna tell you, man, Godzilla dominated that ass when it was all said and done. Let's look at it in rounds. There's really only 2 rounds in the movie. And if it's
And then there's a fourth. Kong won the second one.
Yeah,
but barely.
Well, let's look at it this way. All right, let's look at round 1 right here.
aircraft. He fighting on skateboard.
Yeah.
I love that.
Round 1, some people are actually willing to let this go because they said Godzilla won on a almost cheated in this one.
Well,
It's like, no, man, that ain't right. You know, you almost drowned it. We didn't say water was gonna be involved here.
Right. If anybody cheated, it was the humans because they like we gotta help them with depth charges. You're like,
yes, which I was like, wait, wouldn't his depth charges blow Kong up? What are you doing?
Oh no, he'd be fine.
But here I was like, okay, so Godzilla is part alligator. Because you can swim, yeah. So it's really not fair.
You can
like,
water too.
Yeah, he's got gills.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, all right, this is all Godzilla's home turf. Kong don't have a chance. He didn't ask to be out there. He was chained up half the time.
He was drugged and everything. That didn't count. That was almost like cheating right there. I tell you what, though, even Kong realized he had underestimated that fool.
Yeah,
You gotta breathe this shit and be like, damn, that motherfucker was serious. That's even the point where Godzilla told him, he tried to warn him. He said, he said, keep playing. And he's like, God damn. He whooped my ass.
That's the point where you realize, like, oh, Kong gets tired. And Godzilla does not.
No. I like the way Godzilla looked at him and said, you know what? Hey, it's your choice, man. keep playing. He looked at him.
Get back up if you want to.
Hey, we can do this shit all day, man. I'm ready. And Kong almost looked at him. And he even said, you know what? Yeah, let's take this shit on dry land, bitch. And I'll kick your ass. Well, round 2, the rumble in Hong Kong, man. Yeah. Hey, this is running.
Well, you know what? I mean, he was a badass while he had his magic axe.
Yeah.
He brought an axe to a gunfight.
Yeah.
He sure did.
It's like,
I mean, the thing I kept thinking is like, okay, Kong, being a primate, your strength is that you have thumbs and a smarter brain, the ability to use tools. You gotta use some of that shit, man.
And I don't know what the hell he was doing. People, this guy's so bad.
Because when he got that axe and he sat on that throne, he started smelling himself.
Oh yeah, he did. But then Godzilla, I love the way Godzilla even told him. He said, motherfucker, I'm gonna give you something to remember this by. You ain't gonna look at your chest again. Every time you look at your chest, you're gonna start trembling this shit. Every time you look down at that manly chest of yours, you're gonna remember this ass whooping. He scratched his chest like a hoe during sex.
You know what? Like he branded him or tattooed him.
Your wife gonna know you been fucking around. He had his ass on the floor crying.
Well, earlier, Kong was winning, and even that point where Alexander Skarsgård called, he's like, well, I think Kong won that round. And it's like Godzilla said, oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, then. What do you think about this?
They started talking so much shit, and I don't know, Godzilla was doing some rope-a-dope shit on this. Because it got to the point like, all right, I'm tired of fucking around. Look, I had to give people a show. Yeah. We got to get this money. But there was a point where he finally came back, and he's like, all right, you want to play, huh? He pulled some Ali Sonny Liston shit. You know, when he put his ass down, put that foot on him and looked at him, like, bitch, say my name. Say my name.
Stay down.
Stay there, yeah. You know what? The thing with it got so ridiculous, and Kong got his ass whooped so hard. People, when you make a lizard laugh, you know you fucked up. A lizard's not even supposed to laugh. So you know if they laughing at you, you fucked up.
Well, something I didn't get because Godzilla, he has so many attacks. Besides his breath, he's got his claws, he's got his tail, and his bite. He kept biting Kong.
Yeah,
Man, I was like, Kong, I'm like, you got fangs too. Bite that motherfucker.
Kong don't know how to fight.
He does not.
Kong just doesn't know how to fight.
Because Kong is only used to fighting creatures that are smaller than him.
Yeah.
That's right. And he's been king for a long time on that island, so he's gonna take it easy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, he's used to pulling that shit.
Yeah.
Fighting creatures that don't think, they just attack.
Yeah.
Godzilla said, bitch, I ain't the one.
I've been in the game for a while.
Yeah, that's a lot of fight. Three-headed monster, aliens, moth sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
Gray bugs.
Godzilla, hey,
Think of all that.
Hey, don't let them other two movies fool your ass. You whooped King Kong's ass so bad he gave that motherfucker a heart attack.
He digested.
The defibrillator.
Shock his ass back to life. And they're like, get your ass back in there. He's like, no, I don't want to go back in there. No, that's all right.
I don't blame him. I was like, that's not how defibrillators work. You get your heart shot back and be like, okay, I'm ready to fight again. I'm like, nah, I want to lay here for a while.
Yeah. Godzilla killed him.
Yeah.
And then looked at him and walked away when it was done. Like, he didn't even
laughed and walked away.
He's like, you're not even worth my time.
Yeah.
I got a goddamn robot to fight.
King Kong, you ain't king of shit.
Yeah.
No, I mean, between the matchup, the 3 rounds, Godzilla beat Kong. Godzilla in the first match on the carrier, the second, the first half of the battle, and in King Kong beat Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
And Godzilla is the one that finally defeated him. But it's not when you have fucking Mechagodzilla coming there with a goddamn steel chair.
Oh,
and
yeah.
just completely decimates Godzilla.
Oh, yeah. No, he handed his ass to
Ghidorah too, so I like the way he's like, man, remember me?
Yeah, it's Ghidorah's brain. It's like Mechagodzilla.
Yeah. Hey, how you like my new outfit?
Godzilla was like, what is happening?
I'm fighting giant monkey man.
How irresistible are cheesy crackers?
And robots. What's winning, right? What the hell is what's going on? Jet Jaguar, please help me.
No, I was like, it's good for him to be humbled because after what he did to Kong, he's thinking like, yeah, I'm the king shit. And it's like, all right, it could be your turn too.
Look at him.
He gets your ass. Classic wrestling moves on there.
Disrespectful.
Yeah, it was amazing. Yeah, it was. I was surprised he didn't suplex him or use a DDT.
Oh yeah.
He would try to use Godzilla moves on.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I'll make you eat it like you did that one time.
Yeah.
That was, there you go.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing. It's like, Jesus.
Well, all right,
Yeah, we see how this shit feels, huh?
This raises the question though, like, would this have been much of an ass whooping if he had not been fighting Kong earlier? Like, if we got Godzilla at 100%, would he have got wrecked like he did?
I think so.
Exactly.
I know.
He was tired already.
He wasn't the least bit tired. He was laughing at Kong. He was walking off. He wasn't tired.
So you think you think King Kong? Well, what are you saying?
I'm saying Mechagodzilla would have embarrassed him just as well had he not fought Kong.
I think I don't know.
Mechagodzilla's made to be a Godzilla killer. That's the point of his.
Honestly, yeah, because Mechagodzilla was beating Godzilla worse than Godzilla was beating Kong.
Yeah, he should
Because he was toying with it.
Well, you're like, come on, man. I just played. Kong had his back.
Yeah. And by the time Mechagodzilla opened his mouth, it's like Mechagodzilla is the king of the monsters.
Oh,
in
yeah.
this moment.
Yeah.
He took that title from Godzilla.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. But first of all, Kong's ass was gonna be dead again if Godzilla hadn't come in with the assist. Now you think you some big shit.
I mean, yeah, I was mad. Kong, dismantles completely beats the shit out of Mechagodzilla, but only because Mechagodzilla was distracted by trying to beat Godzilla.
Okay, so wait, is that the crux of your argument that the transitive properties that because Mechagodzilla beat Godzilla and then King Kong beat Mechagodzilla that he's the king of the monsters now?
Well, Mechagodzilla took the title from Godzilla.
Okay.
And I'm not saying like is Godzilla. That means Godzilla's not as powerful as Kong. No, I'm saying Godzilla definitely is powerful. Is more powerful than Kong.
Right.
My whole thing, just like Mechagodzilla had that title, Kong was the one that defeated Mechagodzilla. Therefore, he obtains the title of King Kong.
Okay, so by
that's my
MMA
thing.
rules, Kong would have the belt now.
He would have the belt. I'm not saying that he's better.
But there would be a rematch.
Yeah.
There would be a rematch, but then there's also
Godzilla probably wins.
after that, which we can talk about in a second.
What it comes down to is like, okay, cool. You beat Mechagodzilla. This is Godzilla telling him like, hey, thank you for getting my back. You beat Mechagodzilla, but bitch, you still didn't beat me.
Yeah.
Listen, but when it comes between, this ain't, the title says Godzilla versus Kong, not Godzilla and Kong versus Mechagodzilla. This is you and me, motherfucker. You know, between you and me, I'm still number one. So yes, still at the end of the day, look, we want to talk semantics about titles. Yes, that belt does go to Kong at the end of it.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that Kong can then beat Godzilla.
Yeah.
I'm saying that he's now technically king of the
Because
monsters.
Kong would spend years ducking that rematch.
I want to agree with that because like I feel like even after all that shit happened, like Godzilla was like, "Are you still want to keep going?" And Kong was like, "No, we chill." I gave you the chance to like fight me again, and you was mad pussy and said no. And so I like, even though like there is no belt to be exchanged, I still feel like I retain the god of the monsters. Like, we can settle this any day of the week.
I felt like they were both exhausted by the end of the day.
Yeah, like Godzilla's exhausted, and you are right, but by official rules, Kong would still have
First
the
of all,
belt.
Mark, I ain't hear no bell. There's no official
I mean, we can bring Jason White on to settle this.
Yeah, like Kong is coming in using weapons. He got people jumping.
There's no rules established that we can't use weapons.
All I know is like when it was really dumb when Godzilla took a good look at Kong and Kong dropped that shit and said,
Right.
"Hey, man, no mas."
Yeah,
It's
no
like
mas.
you say, I don't want no problems. Like I fear him more than I fear the dude on the ground.
I want no trouble, man. We good, right? Because that's what Godzilla looked at him like, hey, we good, right? All right.
Yeah,
It's Kong now. He ain't no king now.
yeah.
Kong and Godzilla, they're cool. Ain't got no beef.
Ain't no beef.
I want no beef. You want some beef? You want some beef? You want beef? Besides the beef I scraped out your chest a little while ago, but he and Kong are good, and they're going their separate ways. Now, what's going to be the future here? Where would we like to see things go? And I think, I'll just kick it off right here. I think that where I would like to see this go is now that they're in the Hollow Earth, because I like the end. We all predicted that they would team up, which is what everybody wanted. I love that. That's what I absolutely wanted with this. They teamed up, and I was really happy to see Kong get somewhat of a happy ending, where he went to the Hollow Earth and he says, "I'm home." It's a sweet way to end the movie. Sure. Him and his little girl. I like that. Like I said, I like when these titans and kaijus. I like when some of them are heroes and some of them are villains. I love that. My hope is that now that he found home, I'm all moved by Kong having emotions and everything. I hope that he finds more of his kind there. I hope that when we get a sequel, because they showed how
He'd be like, that little girl lied to me.
Oh yeah, because they said, hey, there's more there, but they said the Hollow Earth is so big.
Yeah.
That's a little planet.
Yeah,
planet.
exactly. And I'm hoping that he finds more of his kind, because you can only tear down buildings so much. I've always wanted to have, something like this where you explore different creatures. We just saw a little while ago, I showed you where, there's so many different creatures now. It's just like a bigger expansion of Skull Island.
Yeah.
And the reason why I want to see this is because, I thought, now you talk about how can you write a Godzilla movie that's just not silly like this? I said, well, first of all, put this in the world, and I said, it'll be cool if they tried to make it to where it takes place all somewhere secret. That's why you haven't seen them. I always thought it'd be cool if they made a Monster Island movie.
Sure.
And this, you know, because I love Godzilla Monster Island.
Godzilla on Monster Island. He's even exchanging incredible deadly rays.
I told you that this is just a big budget modern day version of those 60s Godzilla.
Sure.
This is one that I see now. Like, all right, you already did Mechagodzilla, you already did Kong, King Kong versus Godzilla. Now we have a good reason to go and do Godzilla on Monster Island, Hollow Earth. And plus, they do all kind of cool stuff with it, man. Like clips. There's stuff he was talking about where he said they just stopped telling you where Kong went there. Can they do an Ultraman?
I'm not the biggest fan of that. But I mean, if they can make it work.
If they make a Godzilla, they can make an Ultraman.
Sure.
Like, why not?
I like how you asked him a question. He was like, you're like, they can do it.
They can do it.
Whatever you say, Corey.
We make a Godzilla that is really controlled by a skull. You know, it's like we can do an Ultraman. They can build like a new, a giant mech suit if they want to. You know, for whoever, the good company or the bad company takes it.
Was it Ultraman an alien?
Yeah, and you know, I never watched Ultraman really.
Oh, I watched it.
I want this thing I've never watched.
Anything that you didn't like about the movie?
I mean, it's a popcorn movie. I mean, yeah, I want to pick it apart. It'd be easy to find things. But for what it was better than I expected. And I just wrote it and had fun.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there were points where, like I said, I'm not looking at it too crazy. It was something that tested me. Because, like I said, if you want to get goofy with it, like those 60s, like You know, it's too hard. You know, you're not going and pick it apart. I didn't think it was. Like I said, there's some things I know they just
Oh,
wrote
they
last minute.
fake
Stuff
for
like,
that.
like the whole thing with Ghidorah's skull being used as. You know,
I like that quite a bit.
With all the neon in the world.
I didn't understand it. I was like, how are y'all getting?
Coors Banquet, the same brewing tradition since 1873. When you're the favorite beer of rock stars and cowboys, you don't compromise. That's our legacy. What do you want to go down in history for? Start your legacy. Coors Banquet.
Signals from Bones, but maybe
It's
he's
DNA.
an alien.
DNA. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, there's all kind of things. All this is just like some of the DNA that's cure cancer and other things, but
Nah, we want to make giant robot.
right.
We are
Yeah.
mad.
Well, I just love like everybody's want to push this idea of mechs. It's like mechs is so inefficient for what you want to do.
Yeah, that whole thing. Like I said, that was a little too crazy. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Godzilla.
Like I said, this is goofy.
Well, just somebody in a mech suit, I'm like, all right, that's one thing, but it's like, oh shit, King Ghidorah took over. And he hates Godzilla, so he's got a point of like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck you
Well,
up.
yeah, that was a grudge match. A good way to create a grudge match between those two. I'd say I love when he came to life. Now, I didn't like the idea, but when he came to life, I love how Damon Bashir did not do shit except his monologue, black gun and Frank. And I said, well, you know what? If you ain't gonna do shit, at least him and his daughter got it bad, man.
I hated his daughter.
Oh, yeah.
Just being stereotypically evil.
Yeah.
Sound like Shia LaBeouf.